You were meant to live a big life. You were meant to have an unconventional life. And that's not going to look like anything that I can explain to you in this video, because only you will know that. And it's not even like something that you can know right now. It's not like you can be like, this is exactly the life that I'm going to live. I'm going to leap and trust fall into the universe, and this is going to be it. You'll have a feeling, and that will be your guiding light. That will be the breadcrumb. You'll have a joy and you'll have a curiosity, being like, this way. That's the compass. And when you go that way, it's going to look a lot different, but you're going to get more breadcrumbs, and it's going to say, okay, come this way. Okay, come this way. Okay, come this way. And you're going to continue to follow it. The more that you trust yourself, you follow and you follow and you follow. And then all of a sudden you're living this life that you could have never imagined possible. And it's freedom, it's abundance, it's love, it's joy, it's health, and it's different, and no one will understand it, and people will give opinions and try and bring you back and try and like get you to the place that you were familiar to them in, because it's scary when people see someone stepping into their authenticity. It is scary for them because it lights up all the unhealed, all the ignored parts of themselves. And so also I just realized someone said, is she wearing a seatbelt? No, it's my bag. It lights up all the unhealed parts of themselves, all the ignored parts of themselves. And, you know, they feel that thing wake up inside of them where they're like, oh, I could live an unconventional life too. I could be the pioneer of my own path. But instead, I'm going to try and bring them back. And that's completely fine. That's part of the process too. The main important thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you can have such a big life. And a big life means an expansive life. It means a free life. It means that you're going to have the wildest, most incredible stories. And that will look different to you. For me, like what I just shared about on Instagram. Yeah, baby boys. Was that like, I love my crazy unconventional lifestyle. I am a Scorpio North Node. That is part of my design. And Scorpio North Node is like your life path in astrology. It's like what you're going to experience here on Earth in this life. And don't eat that, sir. And Scorpio is all about, you can find it by looking at your birth chart. And Scorpio is all about learning things the hard way and, you know, having these unconventional experiences that just take you down strange paths and, you know, make you travel to Ireland in a broken down van with 2 dogs and a cat and food poisoning and cat pee, and like it was insane getting here. But when I reflect on it, I'm like, and I was just sitting with my great aunt yesterday, and my brother's here in Ireland, and we spent the day on our farm, and I was thinking, like, when I'm her age, when I'm 94, I'm going to have such incredible stories of what I did when I was younger and how I became the person that I am and how I had the impact in the world that I have and how I changed lives in the ways that I changed lives. And that is what's important to me. My South Node, which is like directly across on your birth chart, is in Taurus, and Taurus is all about luxury and home and comfy. They're like cuddle bugs. And so part of me is like, don't I crave that? Like, but no, that's just what's familiar. Some say that it's like your past life was that sign. So maybe I was a Taurus in my past life in some way. Maybe it was my North Node. And so my purpose was just to like enjoy and indulge. And now it's like to experience like the raw experiences of like being out in the desert, like the scorpion, and just like survival, stinging whatever I have to sting. Not really, but like, you know, like stinging the opportunity to like get to where I have to get. And we all have our own authentic path. And I'm sharing this because I want you to accept that in yourself. And that was the biggest part for me, is like, of course, like especially sharing online, there are always going to be so many opinions of how I should live, and especially coming to visit family throughout Europe and in Switzerland, like there's always going to be opinions of like, you should get a job here, let me help you get a job here, and like you should do this, you should do that, you should find a husband, you're running out of time, you should freeze your eggs. And I'm like, take a moment, like what's authentic and true to me? And so you're going to have these experiences where people, not out of like a bad place, but out of love, often mostly out of love, It's always out of love, but sometimes the conditioning takes you away from your truth. But they try and take you away, and you have to have the courage to go after it no matter what, and to move towards it relentlessly, and to accept yourself in the process. My life, you know, people are like, why don't you just get a different van? And I will. But I also have to accept a part of myself that, like, I have to experience life the way that I have to experience life. I have to follow my joy and follow my curiosity. And that is taking me to where I'm meant to go. And sure, like, maybe it's undesired in the moment, like being broken down and sleeping in the mechanic's parking lot for 4 days in a foreign land. Like, of course, in the moment, it's uncomfortable. But that's what I needed. I was guided there. And I thought it would look different. I thought I would, you know, I hoped I would arrive to Ireland, even though, like, I also was open to the possibilities of what could be. I had the hope that I would arrive to Ireland with a driving van. The van was all good. I would get to my family farm. I would set up my tent, and then I would go around, you know, the wild Atlantic way, and be using my Starlink and just creating content and like ease and flow and everything. But I had to have these experiences, and that's okay. You're going to have a much easier and enjoyable life if you accept yourself for the badass that you are. Whatever you're going through right now. Maybe you're in a relationship and you know it's like, it's not the relationship that's meant for you long term, but you are learning something. You are finding your way out. Like, maybe you're saving enough money so that you can break up and leave, or maybe, you know, whatever it is, whatever you're learning. Maybe you're learning how to like have boundaries. Maybe you are learning in friendships that like it's okay to end a friendship for the time being because it's not serving you anymore for your highest good. Maybe you're learning that, like, you know, this is how you stand up for yourself in work, and you have an exit plan, and you're working towards it. But everyone's like, why don't you just leave now? Why don't you just leave now? It's okay if you're not ready to leave. It's okay if you're going to stay. It's okay if you're going to move to another country. It's who gives a fuck? Do what you want. Do what you want to do. Live the life that you want to live. In the end, when you're 94 and looking back on your life, what are you going to be most proud of? And if you are called to sharing that online, like a lot of you, I just realized this recently, like a few days ago, really, as I was sitting and I was like, where do I see myself going with everything that I'm creating and doing? And I was like, yes, I want to serve in the way of coaching. I have a weird association with coaching. Like, I don't want to be just a coach, I guess. Like, that's not really my calling. But at the same time, when I think of just being a creator, that's also not just my calling. And so I'm accepting both parts of myself. I'm like, okay, I went through all these dark nights of the soul, all these challenging experiences because I have to learn, teach. Like, that is part of my purpose. And yeah, I definitely recommend The Law of One if you haven't read it, the material. But that's where the concept learn, teach comes from in my knowledge library. And so learn, teach is like you experience it and then you teach it, and you experience it and then you teach it. And so I experienced a lot of shit. I experienced the chronic illness. I experienced the narcissistic abuse. I experienced working the 9-to-5 and moving to a foreign country. I experienced doing van life. I experienced, you know, all these different things. And with that, you know, I experienced doing all these different businesses, Amazon, Etsy, I had Airbnbs. Like, I've had so many different lives. I worked on yachts, like all these different experiences, and I've learned so much from them. And I would just feel like I was wasting away my life if I wasn't learning and teaching. They talk about in the Law of One material the evolution of ascension, and how, you know, we're moving into the 5D, into the new earth. But in order to be like harvestable, to go into the next level of your ascension, you have to be a certain percentage, over 50% or whatever the percentage is, of service to others. And so, you know, if you're feeling like, and it's okay if you're not there right now, like you maybe were conditioned like to be service to self, and you can change that. You can ask yourself, and it's going to feel so much more supported by the divine when you say, how can I just be of service to others? Like, how can I serve others? And how can I enjoy my life in the process? And you will enjoy your life when you are serving others. Like, maybe it's not just humans. Maybe you're serving animals. Like, for me, it's my someone was asking me yesterday, one of my family members, like, why do you live on the farm in Italy? I was like, they were like, what do you get? I was like, well, I get to help animals. Like, I was like, that's always been the dream, is working with animals, saving animals. And like, I get to do that because I have an online presence and because I have an online business, and like that is also a passion, but it fuels my abundance so that I have the time to do that. And so, oh my gosh, guys, don't knock me over. They're chasing each other. And so how can you be in service to others? And so many of you, I've realized as I was sitting with this recently, they're like my little portal of energy running in circles around me. I'm in the void, or in the, what do they call it? The vortex. I realized recently that a lot of you guys, a lot of my clients have come to me, like a lot of when I was doing one-on-ones, a lot of times it wouldn't even be like a coaching session. Like people would ask, like, can I just like interview you and ask you questions? And it would be around the topic of having an online presence and sharing your voice and sharing your story and, you know, making a difference in people by inspiring them either through your lifestyle or like sharing your spiritual thoughts or your health journey, and like, you know, manifesting from that place and manifesting that timeline and jumping into that timeline. And so I was like, that's why most people, you know, not most people, but a majority of people come to me. And so I was like, if I can serve in that way, that will be super fulfilling. If I can make a packaged thing to speak to those people and to help you guys who really want to like find your authentic voice and like open the throat chakra and be seen in your authenticity and share from that place, raw and vulnerable and imperfect, and just like share and create so that you can have the platform to grow an audience and to like have a community and that sees you. Like since the very beginning, I've shared when I started in Switzerland. So if you guys are here from Switzerland, thank you. That was amazing. Like when I started that, I was sharing, I say it was amazing because it grew so quickly when I was in Switzerland. I was like, this is what I need to do. I've always wanted to do your YouTube. I will commit to a video every single day. And within a month I was monetized. And within like 2 months, I launched my first program, and there was over 60 people in that first 21-day program. Now there's been like over 1,000 people, I think, have done it, 21 days to rewire your mind. And I was like, holy shit. Like I, you know, at that time I was sharing because I was like, I want to find my people. I have always had wonderful, amazing friends. I have such amazing friends, but many, like almost all of my best friends are in the US. And I was like, I really miss community, and I really want to find people online who like share these thoughts with me and who see me and who can be on this journey with me. Because I felt then, and I still feel now, like there is so much unknown of where the fuck this life path is taking me in this human experience. And I wanted to have a community for that. And so it's such a freaking honor to be doing this and to be sharing these stories and to just be like accepting myself and speaking about these, because that is one of the most healing things. And that's why like I really wanted to work with this group of people, is because I love healing. Like I'm also like, I went through my chronic illness journey. That's why I created the program 21 Days to Regulate, and it's called Healed. So we're in that right now, but you can join whenever you want. And so I created that because I want to speak to people about healing. But I was like, oh, there's so many things. Like, how can I just like bring it in and like focus on one thing, like where I'm actually live and active in it. And when you share your voice online and you share your journey online, whether you're currently healing or you have healed and you want to share that, how you healed, or you're traveling or whatever, you're building a business, you're taking care of your family, you're making baked goods, like sharing and showing up as your authentic self, that is the most healing thing. A lot of chronic illness is rooted in your unworthiness wound, and I found that in my own experience, and wanting to be accepted and wanting to be seen and wanting to be taken care of by doctors, by practitioners, by friends, by family. And so showing up online you guys, can be so healing, because it takes courage, and every time you post, you know, unlock another layer of accepting yourself. And so that's why I created the free webinar, you guys, the Sovereign Shift, and it's introducing you to this method that I was like, okay, how can I like package this up, make it simple? I'm a Virgo rising, and so I love like systems, I love simplicity. And I was like, how do we make this simple? How do we make this like not a copy and paste, but kind of a copy and paste, like copy and paste your authentic voice and imprint into this way of like showing up and creating a platform and being seen and finding your voice and finding what that is to you and making money doing it. You guys, making money is not a bad thing. Making money is a very good thing. Making money is abundance. And it is, let them like chill for a sec. Okay. Money's not a bad thing. Obviously, money's not a bad thing. I think a lot of you guys know that, but there might still be some conditioning around it. And like I was listening to some people talk about it recently, yesterday. I was like, what would you do if you won 12 million? And I know that these people, like a lot of people would love to win 12 million. And they were saying like, oh no, like it would be a bad thing because we would just eat too unhealthy and like drink and it wouldn't be good. But I was just like, whoa. That's a choice. Like you can choose what you do with money, and like there's a part of them that really wants the money, and there's a part of them that has the conditioning saying that money would make bad things. And so we have so many layers around money, but you get to make money, so much money in your authenticity, because your authenticity is infinite abundance. It is unconditional love. And when you come into alignment with that, you are a magnet of that. That is your point of attraction. You start to attract it. And money gives you the freedom to live. It gives you the freedom to make a difference and make an impact in the world. Let me get my puppy. Okay, we're working on recall. He's a Kangal, which is a very independent breed, and they don't normally have good recall because they are meant to like be leaders on their own and on land and make decisions that are really calculated with a team. And he tested that of all of his siblings to be the best for this lifestyle of travel and like being more a guardian of me rather than like of land. And so his siblings all live on the land in Italy, and then he's with me. But he's doing great, and he's really good actually at learning recall. We just have to be very consistent with it. Very consistent. So yes, if you want to join the free webinar, it's so funny because I woke up this morning and I didn't get any notifications because I had like finally, I was trying to upload the video for that for 2 days because the Wi-Fi isn't working. There's like no service here. My Starlink's in the van, which is still at the mechanic shop. And so I didn't get any notifications that anyone joined the webinar. I was like, oh, maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's not aligned, maybe like the messaging wasn't right. I was like sitting with it, but I was sitting with it. When I woke up, I was like, no, it still feels so aligned. Like this is the type of person that I want to work with, because that's then gives me the freedom to be a creator as well and like focus more on like storytelling while like in the background having my one-on-one, because it's not going to be, I don't do one-on-one calls anymore because I honestly just can't with my Wi-Fi situation. But I was like, how do I still serve and have that like intimate mentorship, but not like have to be on a call and like have to maybe cancel if there's no Wi-Fi or if like it's down because of a storm. And so I'm gonna do Voxer, which is like voice. We could do voice notes, and I feel like voice notes are great because you can like listen back to and take notes on them, or we can text. And so if you're in which you will learn about in the free webinar, the next step, the program, Sovereign and Seen, then you will get one-on-one support from me for 12 weeks in that format, which I've never done before in a program, which I'm super excited about. But anyway, I was like, I guess no one signed up. And then I loaded it and I was like, holy shit. Like, I've never had so many people sign up for something in such a short amount of time. And still, like, you guys, there's been so many more since this morning. I haven't really checked recently, but like within a few hours there was 35 people had watched it and signed up for it. And then that was at like 9 a.m. this morning, and I had launched it, I don't know, like midnight last night. So it feels very aligned. I'm super excited to be holding the space for spiritual creators who want to find their voice, be seen, and have an impact in the world in sharing their own voice, whatever that might be. So I'll see you guys in there if you want to join me there. If you just wanted to hang out today and that's not for you, thanks for being here. If you're still here, let's go ahead and do a wolf emoji, because you guys know I love wolf. My dad and I always joke about how I need to find a guy with the last name Wolf, because I would love to be Mrs. Wolf. Or I'll just change my last name to Wolf. I don't know. Or I'll just go by wolf. I don't know. I love wolf. I love the wolf energy. I love when the wolves were visiting me in Italy, and there's something about it. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we'll find out. We're gonna head back to the house, go chill, upload this, and make some dinner. Family friends are gone right now. They're working, so it'll just be us at the house today. I did some work with the baby cows, which is really nice, and my brother's coming back tomorrow to the farm, and we will do some work on the farm. And they all love the tent. My great aunt and my brother, they're not like me at all, and so they thought that I was like living in this like, I don't know, crappy little tent. And when they came and saw my tent yesterday, they were like, oh my God, this is like a house. This is bigger than my apartment. This is amazing. So people will just judge without even knowing, without even seeing. It's normal. And then when they see what you do and what you create and what it actually is that you're excited about, people are going to be blown away. So that was the final message. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.